Not everyone is going to like you. That was one of the worst truths about life that I had to figure out. Was that not everyone is going to want to be your friend. Not everyone is going to look at you and immediately go, "That guy's cool. I want to go talk to him." I found out actually pretty early on because I never really had any male friends growing up. I during my preschool years didn't really have any friends. In elementary, I was friends with all the girls in my class. It was how we do it at lunch is boys sat on one side of the table, girls sat on the other. Usually, I sat in the directly in the middle, so I could still sit with the boys, but I was talking with the girls. Some days I would just straight up be on the opposite end of the table and only talk to the girls. Now you'd think, okay, bro's getting play. No, never, never did. But my point is, I never really had male friends. They never really liked me growing up. I remember I got bullied in elementary as well because of that. Um, but I always wondered why don't the other guys want to be friends with me? I'm pretty cool. I like Pokemon. We're all into Pokemon. It's like 2013 ish. You know what I mean? Like we're all cool. We're all guys. We all like guy things. I like guy things. Why don't they want to talk to me? And it quickly became apparent that it was literally just because of the way I looked. And it wasn't because I was ugly. I wasn't fucking disgusting to look at. I didn't, I was a little more tan. I was a little more not pale, you know? Um, very, now I'm making a race comment here, but my point is they saw me and they just didn't like me. They didn't get to know me. They didn't give me an introduction. They didn't give me a chance. They just saw the way I looked, saw I didn't look like them, and excluded me. Now, obviously, I mean, I'm obviously way more pale now, but even still today, there are still moments in which they'll just not like me off the bat. I don't have a chance to prove that I'm worthy of people's platonic affection. You know what I mean? People just they look at me, they just go, ugh, no, and they just discard me, not giving me a chance. Now, I've grown to accept that. I don't really let it bother me anymore, but it used to really hurt because I didn't get my first male friend group until I was in middle school, and even then I was kind of a side character within the friend group, as in they were already established, and I was friends with one of the guys, and then they invited me within their little friend group, and then it just doesn't really work. It doesn't really work when you're just added into a pre-established kind of group. But it wasn't until I think my sixth grade. Sixth grade is when I met my best friend, and since then, I mean, I mean, that's bro. That's bro. But other than him, people I just don't really have that many connections. I don't really have that many people I can just call up. You know. And I wanted to talk today about trying to learn your own self-worth without having to rely on people giving it to you. Because I mean, I always wanted people to look at me and go, wow, that guy knows what he's got going on. He's got it figured out. He looks confident. He looks like a cool guy, and I want to go meet him. I never felt like people looked at me like that. They always looked at me like, oh, can that guy go away? Like, can I not be near that guy? It sucked. It sucked. It really did. It made me feel like I didn't belong. You know, I used to have really not really long hair, but kind of a helmet shape, if you know what I mean. Like hair was covering a little bit of my forehead, like all the way around. It was a big kind of dome. I wore hoodies all the time, black pants all the time. People used to think I was a school shooter, which is actually hilarious because uh, I think I almost saved my school from being shot up because I talked to an actual suspect. We'll go with that term. I kind of had to talk him down after he was having an episode at one of our dances. So I mean, if anything, I fucking saved everyone's lives. You know what I'm talking about? But my point is, I never really had I never really had the opportunity to go to people and be like, "Hi, I'm EJ. I like drumming. I like Mario. I like playing Legend of Zelda." I never got that chance. Uh, I remember I used to bring my 3DS to school because I would try to. It was mostly for me to be on my device, but I also wanted people to be like, "Oh, what's that guy doing? Like, oh, is he playing Pokemon X in the middle of class? Holy shit, bro chose Chespin instead of Greninja. This guy must be good or something. Like, he knows what he's doing." I don't know, but I learned at some point. I learned that people will just not like you. There will always be someone who will just look at you and not vibe with it. You know, I've had because I've done that with people. You know what? I've had the exact same experience. I'll look at someone and I'll just go no, and it's a very natural feeling. You know, you look at someone. I looked this guy once. His mouth didn't fully close. He was like looks like that all the time. He was very rude to people, very arrogant, and he just didn't like. You just look at him and you can just feel his energy, and you go, "No, I'm not doing that." So I at that moment I was like, okay, is that what people are looking at me like? Are they looking at me and just going, "No," you know, like that? I mean, that makes sense to me now because I feel I'm on the opposite end of that. I'm now the judger instead of the judgee, I guess. And it made me realize that it's not entirely my fault. You know, sometimes I'll I'll look at someone and it won't even be any actions that I've seen. I'll just literally look at them only on a physical appearance, and I just feel no, I don't feel a positive interaction to come from it. So I just go no, I'm not gonna interact with that person. And in that, I realized that why the fuck am I gonna care? Why am I gonna care about what other people think of me? And if they don't perceive me as friendly, if that's just if there's nothing I can do about it, you know? I've talked about this a little bit before in like one of the first episodes I did of this, where I was talking about how I I used to appear very off-putting, but I never really did. You know, I was just a normal fucking I was a kid. I was a fucking kid who wore Adidas hoodies and Adidas track pants. Like I'm not off-putting. I'm just a kid. And if people didn't like me at that point, who gives a fuck? It was something that reinvigorated this like passion inside me to just want to be a better person because I always suppressed myself being like, "Oh, people don't like me. Oh, people think I'm weird. No one's going to like want to hang out with me." Like, "Oh, I'm not going to get anywhere in life cuz people are just never going to want to give me a chance." And then once I started realizing like these people just suck. Like these are also kids, and these kids also just fucking suck. You know, I don't care about their opinions. These guys eat glue out of the bottle. Why do I give a fuck about what they think of me? You know. And at that moment, I was like, I'm not gonna let these opinions of glue eaters hold me down. I'm gonna live how I want to live. I'm gonna do what I want to do to make myself feel more comfortable in the life I have to live. And in that, I started feeling a lot better. And what's crazy is once I started feeling a lot better about myself, people started to want to be around me more. It was a very weird dynamic, you know? Once I stopped caring about what people thought of me, they thought of me better. And that's such it's such an like it's such irony in that, you know? When I really did care and when I really wanted people to like me, they didn't. When I didn't give a fuck anymore, they did. It doesn't make any sense at all, but that's just how life is sometimes. even now, I'll still find situations where people will just look at me the wrong way, and I'll feel bad in the moment. I'll feel it. I'll go, fuck. Like, was I making a weird face? Am I, do I look weird right now? Was I being rude in the moment? And then I'll just snap back to reality and go, maybe that guy's just a piece of shit. Maybe that guy's just a fucking asshole and I don't care about I don't care about him. There's this one house that I delivered to at work. It's in this like off the beaten path neighborhood, right? It's a very large house, but it looks very very old. He comes out of his house to grab his pizza. He's a rather large fellow. He has two doorbells already on the wall. Both of them are broken, and then a ring doorbell on the door. I don't know what that adds to this, but it's a detail. He opens the door. He's a rather large man, and he grabs the pizza, and he's like, he's angry about it for some reason. He's angry about it. He's being rude to me. And at first, I was like, man, why is he being rude? Like, was I late? No, I wasn't late. I'm actually a little early. Was I rude at the door? Did I knock too hard? Did I disturb him during something? I don't know. And then I just took a step back and I said, this guy's a fat fucking piece of shit. He ordered two pizzas, epic stuffed crust, and a cheese stick. And I only see one car in the driveway. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I realized that his opinion doesn't fucking matter to me. Because he's fat and ugly and he's alone at home with two pizzas and a cheese stick. And he's fat as shit. What I'm trying to say here is that people's opinions, they'll they'll hit for a second. It'll always hurt in the moment. But realizing who's speaking, how much of their opinion matters to you, does it? Does it matter to you? No matter what, no one is going to be liked by every single person. There's like fucking 8 billion of us on Earth. Not everyone is going to be on the same fucking page about every single person. So why give a fuck about the haters? Why care? Because if anything, if you got haters, it means you're getting attention. And that means you're doing something right. I hate people, bro. That guy was fat as shit. He was fat. He had an Ursula blow up Halloween decoration in his yard. He was whiter than Ursula. And that bitch fat as fuck. Thank you.